They called us primitive. Orbital Assembly Complex, Varelian System. The assembly hall was a monument to diplomacy and excess. Suspended in high orbit above the Varelian sun, the complex shimmered like a crystalline web. 1,000 interlocking panels caught and refracted the starlight, throwing rainbows across the void. Inside, however, was no such beauty. Inside was bureaucracy, tension, and the subtle weight of ancient power. Rows of floating platforms hung in concentric rings, each occupied by the representatives of member species. From aquatic tanks to gaseous chambers to seats designed for humanoid, quadruped, or neural tether interfaces, the diversity of sentient life was on full display. But today, nearly all eyes turned toward one particular platform. A small one recently added. Humble, unassuming, Earth. The delegate for humanity had not yet arrived, and already the chamber buzzed with agitation. Order! Order! Barked Supreme Speaker Delatron, a six-limbed insectoid of the Shazari Dominion, whose voice modulator gave her tone an edge like crackling fire. I will remind this assembly that while we permit open discussion, disruptions before quorum are highly discouraged. The core worlds, those old empires whose species had ruled for eons, were the most vocal. Ambassador Kivtal of the Sithari Empire clicked his mandibles together in irritation. We warned you. 10 solar cycles ago, we warned you. Their kind was not ready for interstellar participation. The humans are a disruption, added General Kress of the Vulgari clans, a creature of rippling muscle and war-scarred chitin. A destabilizing anomaly. They don't follow protocol. They don't respect it. And yet, per Liathene of the Solari Elon, one of the rare pro-human voices, they succeed. Even when they shouldn't. Especially when they shouldn't. There was a murmur of reluctant agreement. A report floated into the central holodisplay. A recent mission log. Planet Coriel 9. Casualties, minimal. Victory, total. Human presence, confirmed. Delatron turned to face the central axis, where Maya Tran's platform would soon rise. Ambassadors, the representative of Earth, will speak shortly. I suggest you compose yourselves. Docking Bay 17 Orbital Assembly Complex. Maya Tran adjusted the fit of her outdated diplomat's uniform. It was modest by galactic standards, no embedded AI, no shimmering nanoweave. Just durable, stitched fiber. A relic of simpler times. The human escort beside her, Lieutenant Ishan Rafiq, was younger and more visibly nervous. Ma'am, they're saying we should have declined this session. That the motion to restrict Earth's missions might pass. Let them vote, Maya replied calmly, glancing out the observation port. The stars looked the same, no matter how alien the place. That was comforting. Tell me something, Lieutenant. You ever hear of the Siege of Marawi? He blinked. That old guerrilla war in the Philippines? I think so. Small units. Urban combat. Held out against a superior force for months. That's right, she smiled. No orbital strikes. No AI. Just people with grit and homemade comms gear. The core worlds think we are reckless because we act without permission. What they don't understand is that we don't wait for permission to do what's right. Assembly Hall, 10 minutes later. The soft hum of platform propulsion echoed as Maya's dais lifted into position. She stepped forward with the calm of a seasoned surgeon and the eyes of someone who had seen things: wars, starvation, desperation, and hope. A hush fell over the chamber. Her voice was clear, unenhanced, unapologetic. Esteemed delegates, friends, colleagues, critics. She paused, letting the silence stretch just long enough. 10 years ago, humanity made contact with your assembly. We arrived in ships that groaned under their own gravity. We didn't have artificial suns. We didn't have nanomaterials or dimensionally split thought streams. What we had was this. She raised her hand. A scar ran across the palm. Not recent, not accidental. Hands, will, determination. We came with hope in our hearts. You called us primitive. Kiftal let out a dismissive hiss. Maya didn't flinch. You know what we call ourselves, she said. Resilient, adaptive, and above all present. When Velthura Prime cried for help, we were the ones who came. When Coriel 9 needed someone to hold the line, we sent our best, not our most powerful, not our richest. Just our people. Our engineers. Our doctors. Our soldiers. Our volunteers. She stepped forward. You don't understand us yet. You will. But let me make one thing clear. Her tone shifted. Not aggressive. Just true. You think we're here to upset your order? We're not. We're here because the universe is dangerous, and someone has to care enough to act without waiting for a committee vote. We know chaos. We were born from it. We bled in it. We mastered it. She finished, so if you're afraid of us, ask yourselves why. Is it because we're reckless? Or because, deep down, you remember what it was like to feel something? Silence. Heavy. Raw. Then, from the outer ring, a single chime. Support. The Solari. Then another, unexpectedly, from the Threshery Technate. Then more. Kivtel stood, rage in his eyes. This is insanity. We cannot let emotion dictate policy. Delatrin raised a limb. And yet, Ambassador, the assembly was not built on logic alone. It was built on unity. And right now, humanity seems to understand unity better than most. Back on the human platform, as the assembly dissolved into argument once more, Maya sat down. Ishan whispered, "Do you think it'll be enough?" She looked out across the void again. "I don't know," she murmured. "But it's a start." The stars did not answer. But somewhere in the distance, a tiny human ship left Earth's orbit bound for a new crisis zone, underprepared, underfunded, and very likely underestimated. Just the way humans liked it. Earth, the long memory. In the grand archives of the Galactic Assembly, species were defined by their epochs. The Solari Elon rose with grace from photosynthetic evolution, mastering biosymphony long before discovering fire. The Vulgari unified through warrior codes enforced across clans. The Shazari built the Great Silence, a planetary information net before ever touching the stars. And humanity crawled from volcanic ash and tar pits, from frozen tundras where death whispered through the trees, from deserts that swallowed tribes whole. They did not grow in harmony with their world. They wrestled it into submission. And Earth remembered. 21st century, the age of mirrors. Maya Tran stood before a console deep within Earth's lunar archive. A personal memory sphere feeding her old visual data, news clips, battlefield feeds, satellite reels. A younger Maya, bandaged and bone-tired, was dragging an injured civilian through broken glass in Mosul. In another clip, a hurricane tore apart the Gulf Coast while neighbors formed a human chain across floodwaters. She closed her eyes. The sensory data still pulsed in her mind. The taste of blood, the heat of diesel flames, the roar of helicopters. She had served back then, first as a field medic, then a logistics officer. Later, she'd given speeches at refugee camps, UN summits, small outposts orbiting Mars. And through it all, one question remained. Why do we keep getting back up? The ugly path to unity. Earth's history was not a gentle climb. The invention of the wheel led to chariots. Agriculture gave rise to warlords. The printing press brought enlightenment and propaganda. For every breakthrough, a cost. For every ideal, a corruption. Nations bombed each other to dust with weapons of such absurd power that the stars themselves dimmed for a moment. 800 years after the first atomic fire, the scars were still visible on Earth's crust, glass deserts, poisoned rivers, orbital debris fields. But they survived. Again and again. Because they chose to. The global accord didn't come from idealism. It came from exhaustion. After the Fourth World War, when machine learning militaries turned on their creators and orbital habitats were lost in mutiny, a reckoning finally arrived. The accord began with 10 nations, then 30, then somehow all of them, not because they trusted one another, but because they finally understood what it meant to lose everything. In madness, there's method. The Solari's first interstellar ship was grown, literally. Its hull made of a semi-sentient resin, its crew born and raised for specific cognitive roles. The Shazari's first vessel was a vault, a perfect cube of logic and redundancy, launched only after 5 centuries of simulations. The humans? They bolted a fusion reactor onto an asteroid mining tug and pointed it at Proxima Centauri. They named it the Hail Mary, half as a joke, half as a prayer. It shouldn't have made it. It did. Why? Because they filled it with people like Captain Raul Mendoza, a former pilot who survived 3 wars and once rebuilt a navigation array using parts from a coffee machine. Because on Earth, improvisation wasn't an art. It was a survival trait, biology of the damned. Human physiology, to alien scientists, bordered on the absurd. Pain tolerance, extreme. Adrenal response, unpredictable. Neural plasticity, freakishly adaptable. Emotional volatility, nearly weaponized. Where other species sought equilibrium, humans evolved for extremes. Hot deserts, Arctic tundra, high altitudes. They weren't specialized. They were generalists, able to do almost anything, badly at first, but better with every failure. And they failed often. That was the secret. Other species feared failure. Humans studied it, archived it, taught it in schools. You fall, you get back up, Maya whispered to herself, recalling her father's old saying. No shame in bleeding. Just shame in staying down. The first contact incident. The Galactic Assembly scout ship Curiosity 1 never expected a response. It was a routine contact beacon drop meant for a low-priority pre-FTL world. A formality. A box checked, then it picked up a signal. English. Heavily modulated. Containing not just coordinates, but a full greeting. A message from Earth's global broadcast networks, to whom it may concern. We see you. Welcome. Let's talk. The Scouts crew thought it was a hoax. Then Earth launched a ship to meet them halfway. Not sleek, not fast, but undeniably real. The first human to step aboard the Scouts airlock was a Pakistani physicist named Dr. Layla Sarwar. She brought a welcome basket. It contained dried fruit, a multilingual phrasebook, and a rubber chicken for cultural experimentation. The aliens were baffled. Then they laughed, and the universe changed. The declaration. Humanity entered the Galactic Assembly not with grand fleets or religious conviction, but with stories. Their ambassador, then a much younger Maya, shared the epic of Beowulf, the tale of Antigone, the Code of Hammurabi, the Constitution, the Mahabharata, Sun Tzu, Ada Lovelace, and MLK. They brought Shakespeare and jazz, NASA footage and street art, coffee and hot sauce. They didn't try to impress. They just said, this is who we are. You'll either like it or you won't. Either way, we're here. Legacy of the cradle. Earth was no paradise. Still isn't. They hadn't eliminated crime, hatred, or greed. But they had created hope, and that was rarer than diamonds in the cold. From the cradle of chaos, humanity had risen, not in spite of its past, but because of it. And now, in the face of threats the Assembly was too slow to address, that old stubborn spark burned again. Maya closed the archive sphere. Outside the lunar station's viewport, Earth spun slowly, blue, battered, beautiful. They called us primitive, she whispered. She smiled. Let them. EXT, orbit above VL Thura Prime, night side. A shattered, smog-choked planet rotates slowly beneath the viewer. The city lights are few, flickering like dying embers through thick cloud cover. Explosions bloom silently in the stratosphere. A planetary distress signal pulses like a beacon into the void. Voiceover Maya Tran. Calm, clear, resolute. They told us not to go. They said we didn't have the resources, the tech, the diplomacy, the permission. But the call came anyway. Smash cut to. Int. Human Relief Cruiser, Sovereign Hope Briefing Room. A tactical display projects a 3D map of Velthura Prime, highlighting collapsed cities, burning forest biomes, and massive civilian displacement zones. LT Ishan Rafiq, late 20s, tactical officer. Casualties already top 600,000. Velthuran defense forces have withdrawn to orbital citadels. Grounds gone feral. Mercenaries. War beasts. Viral mutagen storms. They lost the grid and comms 6 hours ago. Colonel Kimura, grizzled, no nonsense. 50s. We're going in blind. Dr. Layla Sarwar, civilian liaison, exobiologist. We're not just blind. We're going in against assembly orders. Maya Tran firm, we're not going in for politics. We're going in for people. Silence. Then quiet nods all around. Maya Tran, CONT'd. Suit up. We're wheels down in 20. EXT, VL Thura Prime, burning jungle edge, night. Dropships descend through thick, blackened smoke. Firestorms race along the canopy. Thunder cracks above. Human soldiers hit the ground running, no mechs, no AI guardians, just boots, rifles, medpacks, and adrenaline. Captain Raul Mendoza, team led, move fast. Eyes up. Rafik, you've got point. Layla, stay behind Mendoza. Dr. Sarwar, adjusting her breath mask, behind the man with the grenade launcher? Comforting. Raul, welcome to the team, Doc. Int. Crashed VL Thuran refugee transport. Later, the team pushes into the burning wreckage of an alien shuttle. Inside, dozens of injured Velthuran civilians, amphibious, multi-limbed, in shock. Children clutch at adults. Some cry in tones too high for human ears. Dr. Sarwar, pulse is erratic. They've been exposed to mutagen particles. Maya to comms, deploy filtration units. Get the pediatric triage rolling. Mendoza, perimeter. Raul, already moving. On it, as Maya kneels beside a dying Velthuran mother, her hand reaches out, scarred, steady. The alien trembles, uncertain, then takes her hand. Connection. Not just diplomatic. Human. EXT village outskirts, 2 hours later. Gunfire echoes across the swamp hills. Mendoza's squad returns fire against mutated war beasts, twisted hybrids of machine and flesh. One of them slams into the perimeter shield. Raul, they're testing us. Cover the north side. Ishan dragging an injured soldier. Shields dropping 30 seconds tops. Maya VO. We weren't built for this, they said. Too emotional. Too reactive. Too fragile. A massive blast knocks out half the camp lights. A Velthuran child screams. Maya VO. But we weren't built to survive. We were built to endure. In field hospital. Night. Mid-battle. Dr. Sarwar slices open a mutagen blister with shaking hands. A Velthuran nurse assists. No shared language. Just gestures, urgency, trust. Sarwar, clamp that artery. No there. Beat. God, I hope that's an artery. Outside, explosions. Inside, silent miracles. EXT, Shattered Ridge, dawn. The war beasts have pulled back. Velthuran survivors gather at the human camp's edges. Tents burned. Ammo low. Soldiers exhausted. Rain falls over scorched trees. Maya stands alone at the edge of the ridge, watching the sunrise through gray clouds. VL Thuran Elder, translated by device. You could have left. You should have. Why stay? Maya softly, because we saw the smoke. VL Thuran Elder. And that was enough? Maya, always is. The elder stares at her for a long moment, then bows low, arms sweeping in a gesture reserved for planetary saviors. VL Thuran Elder. Human, you are Velthuran now. XT. Orbital feed. Assembly relay. Weeks later, footage of Earth's team goes viral across galactic media. Humans dragging the wounded from fire. Soldiers sharing food with alien children. A child, three-eyed and glowing, sleeping on Mendoza's shoulder. Critics choke on their rhetoric. Supporters multiply. Maya VO. You can call us reckless. You can call us primitive. But when the sky falls, you'll call us first. XT. The Celestial Spire. Galactic Assembly Core. Orbital Day. An enormous, cathedral-like structure orbits a blue-white neutron star. Its spires glitter with solar arrays and quantum comms nodes. Ships of every species dock around it like petals around a flower. A delegation ship, smaller, rougher, human, slides into port. Voiceover, Maya Tran. It was never about the firepower, or the ships, or even the science. It was about presence. We showed up, and we stayed. Int. The celestial spire main chamber, day, a vast rotunda. Every major galactic species sits in crescent formations over 300 races. Floating nameplates shimmer in thousands of languages. At the rear, the Earth delegation enters. Ambassador Maya Tran leads them, dressed not in gold or silk, but in a dark field suit with the Earth patch on her shoulder. Whispers ripple through the chamber. ULVR Shadow League delegate. Humans arrive, not even in proper diplomatic robes. Shiri VX Luxury Ambassador. They wear the soot of Velthura. It is their robe. Int. Ambassador's hallway moments later. Maya stands before a huge oculus overlooking the neutron star. Behind her, Earth's military rep Colonel Kimura, exobiologist Dr. Sarwar, and comms officer Ishan Rafik wait quietly. Kimura, you sure about this, Maya? Maya, no. But we didn't come this far to play it safe. Int. Main chamber, later. Venerate Chair Hesari, an ancient, crystalline being, presides over the council. Hesari resonant. Let the petition be read. A Solari diplomat floats forward. Solari delegate. The Terran Union stands accused of unauthorized planetary intervention, of violating galactic neutrality, of acting without approval. Maya rises slowly. Maya, and of saving 127,000 Velthuran lives. The chamber goes silent. Maya, CONT'd, of building clinics in the fallout zones, of re-establishing comms, of driving back the mutagenic spawns no one else dared face. Yes. We acted without permission, but only because no one else did. Int. Chamber, later, debate montage. Species argue. Some furious. Some moved. ZRAK. Insectoid coalition. Their actions destabilized the sector. Aelthuran Elder Ambassador. Calmly. Their actions saved our children. Kalna Tectum Syndicate. Emotion-driven interference cannot stand as precedent. Shiri VX. Luxury. Perhaps precedent is overdue. Human Observer Room. Simultaneous. Kimura paces. Sarwar checks the live comm feeds. Velthuran citizens broadcasting pro-human chants. Refugees waving handmade Earth flags. Int. Assembly chamber. The vote. Hesari. The motion is simple. Shall the Terran Union be granted full member status in the Galactic Assembly, with privileges of vote, fleet aid, and council seat? Begin. One by one, the holographic vote columns rise. NAY red. AYE green. First 20 mixed. Next 40 shifting. Then 100. The Luxari vote green. The Velthuran vote green unanimous. Then, one after another, the columns flicker. Green. 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 Until the chamber shines like a field of emerald. Final count. 237 I68 nay. The chamber falls into shocked silence. Then cheers erupt, humans and Velthurans embracing in observation galleries, allies clapping. Even some former critics nod in reluctant respect. Int. Earth delegation hallway minutes later. Maya steps out shell-shocked. Her team surrounds her. Kimura, you did it. Maya quietly. We all did. Sarwar, we're official now. Ishan grinning. Wonder what our first vote will be. XT. Earth. Night. Global celebrations. Cities on Earth erupt in light, drones forming messages over Shanghai, New York, Nairobi, Karachi, Lagos, and Rio. Welcome to the stars. Terra rises, no longer primitive. Int. Galactic newsfeed. Anchor report. Anchor, Caldera Hive. And with the Terran Union now holding a seat in the assembly, speculation turns to what their next moves will be. One thing is certain new. They're not here to ask permission anymore. EXT. Deep space, Vanther Quadrant. Night. A silent stretch of space. Suddenly, space ruptures. A jagged hole tears itself open with a gravitational scream. From it pours a fleet of nightmare ships glowing crimson, pulsing like organic tumors fused with metal. They don't broadcast. They don't answer hails. They burn. Int. Assembly security briefing urgent session. An emergency session convenes in the celestial spire. Panic simmers beneath every delegate's voice. The Crimson Fleet has already wiped out 3 fringe systems. Hesari Chair, we face an extinction-level incursion. They are not invaders. They are consumers. ULVOR, Shadow League. They bypass shields. They infect technology. They mutate gravity itself. Calma tectum, the Crimson Swarm does not conquer. It devours. Delegates shout. Chaos builds. Until the VL Thurin Elder speaks, calm firm. VL Thurin, let the Terrans speak. All eyes turn to the human delegation. Maya Tran rises, slow and deliberate. Maya, you gave us a seat. Now let us earn it. Int. Earth Global Strategic Command, montage. Montage, human forces prepping. Launch bays flood with drones, marines, medics, engineers. The UN Fleet Command, a mix of nations under one Terran banner, unveils Project Atlas, Earth's first interstellar fleet of retrofitted ships. AI-assisted orbital cannons come online. Civilian resistance networks form under the Ember Network, a global alliance of engineers, hackers, ex-military. EXT, Earth Orbit, Fleet Deployment. The human fleet, scrappy, modular, fast, rises from Earth like a swarm of hornets. Ships bear names like TNS Samaritan, TNS Bastion, TNS Riyadh, TNS Freedom's Edge, TNS STALKER. Stealth, Tactical, Adaptive, Long Kill Engagement Rig. Maya Vio. We never had the biggest ships. We never had the oldest maps. But we understood fire. EXT Velos System, the first engagement. The Crimson Fleet surges toward the Velos orbital ring, a refugee sanctuary with 10 million lives aboard. The human fleet arrives with seconds to spare. Raul Mendoza, now Fleet EXO, target the node ships. They coordinate the swarm. Ishan Tactical, their codes adapting mid-battle. They're rewriting physics. Sarwar, Science Officer. Then let's make the rules up faster. Int. Human ship battle sequence. Dogfights between human fighters and biomechanical nightmares. EMP charges, plasma lances, and jury-rigged fusion bombs used with brutal creativity. SDLKR, cloaked, sneaks into the swarm's core and detonates a wormhole destabilizer, collapsing part of the fleet into its own gravity well. Explosions. Screams. Heroism. VL Thurin children watch from safe rooms on the Velos ring, eyes wide as Earthships form a shield wall. Int. Galactic Newsfeed, broadcasting live. Anchor, Quarian Network. This is unprecedented. Human fleets are pushing the swarm back. They've lost 2/3 of their ships, but they will not retreat. EXT. Earth sky burns red. One crimson fragment bypasses defenses, slips through a hidden wormhole, and descends upon Earth. The sky burns crimson over cities. Mass panic, then calm as Ember Network activates every defense node. Civilians take up arms. Engineers deploy EMP towers. AI drones evacuate children. Over Karachi, a schoolteacher picks up a rail rifle. In Detroit, ex-Marines coordinate artillery. In Accra, a teenage coder hijacks a crimson command signal with a beat-up laptop. Voiceover Maya. We do not run, we rise. EXT. Earth Orbit, final push. Maya leads a boarding team onto the swarm's hive ship. Inside, a pulsing mind-flesh core. It speaks not in language, but in emotion. Hive voice, telepathic. You are soft. You should break. Maya grinning. You clearly haven't met my species. She plants a neutrino warhead developed in desperation. As she runs, flashback. Velthurin child reaching for her hand. Back to Naue. She leaps into an escape pod as the hive ship explodes behind her. Int. Assembly victory announcement. Hasari, the Crimson Swarm has been driven back. Casualties, incalculable. But the core systems stand. VL Thurin ambassador. Because Earth stood, the chamber erupts in standing ovation for humanity. Even old rivals rise. XT. Earth, night, scarred but standing. Cities rebuilt. Graves are dug. Names are remembered. But Earth still stands. And in the stars, word spreads. Humans don't break. They break the darkness. Int. Celestial spire, night, ember vault. A shadowy vault hidden beneath the assembly's core databanks. Camera sweeps through shelves of forbidden data, ancient war records, AI suppression logs, genocidal protocol black boxes. A glove reaches into frame, pulling a crystal drive marked Ember Protocol. Level Omega, humanity. Alarm softly hums to life, but too late. Galactic Assembly, Human Embassy, Earth Delegation Office. Maya Tran stands at a holographic wall with Dr. Sarwar, Ishan Rafiq, and new Security Chief Lieutenant Alina Fokker, a scarred ex-spy from Europa. On the screen, the Ember Protocol recently leaked to the Assembly. Maya, we never deployed it. Just built it. Sarwar built it as a failsafe. Fokker, low voice. A failsafe that hijacks enemy AI, turns their fleet suicidal, and embeds untraceable Earth logic into command nets? Ishan, yeah, that one. Int. Assembly Hall, next day. Delegates fury boil over leaked documents. ULVR Shadow League. They claim to stand for life. Yet they write weapons to end civilizations. Luxury Ambassador. So did we. So do we. Difference is they stopped themselves. Kalna Tekdom, did they? Or did they wait for the perfect time to not? Sorry, enough. Until verified, the Ember Protocol remains allegation, not judgment. In Human Embassy, night. Lights flicker. A spy drone flicks past the windows, barely visible. Alina Fokker lifts a quantum jammer, throws it, snaps it into EMP mode. Drone drops like a fly. Fokker, they're not just angry. They're scared. Maya, good. Let's give them a reason to be. EXT, Unknown Moon, Secret Assembly Black Site. Cutio, an alien agent uploads the Ember files into a core node. Suddenly, firewall lockdown. A cascading code sequence floods the system. Protocol intercepted. Human intel ops. Ghost tap active. The agent turns, but a figure is already there. LT Alina Fokker steps from the shadows, pulse gun drawn. Fokker, tell your puppet masters, next time they want to stab Earth in the back, try the front. She fires. Int. Earth, Geneva, Switzerland, Oldham Building, now Ember HQ. A council of Earth's top minds, diplomats, tacticians, AI ethicists, meets behind sealed doors. Project lead, Dr. Alia 4, ex-CERN. 4. The Ember Protocol wasn't built to attack. It was built to be the last scream of a dying world. Maya affirm, we're not dying anymore. Deactivate it. Bury it. Sarwar, we already tried that once. Ishan, and someone dug it up. Int. Celestial Spire, Hall of Inquiry, trial begins. Humanity stands before an emergency ethics tribunal. Maya, yes. The Ember Protocol existed, but so did genocide fleets. So did planetary glassing. So did centuries of silence while worlds died in the dark. Beat, we didn't build Ember to rule you. We built it in case you all let us die. Int. Secret Hall, enemy conspirators. Whispers ripple between four figures. A Tekdom admiral, a Shadow League tactician, a Luxari noble, an ancient AI voice. They watch Earth's defense grow. AI voice, emotion makes them dangerous. Shadow League, emotion makes them human. Tekdom admiral will need something stronger than smear campaigns. In Ember Network Hub, Earth, deep dive sequence. Ishan and Sarwar trace the leak backwards. Holoscreen, data node in neutral zone, covert code signatures, one repeating sequence. Axiom 404. They exchange looks. Ishan, that's not Tekdom. That's pre-collapse Terran code. Sarwar, a ghost in the machine. An old Earth AI buried during the Singularity Wars. Might be waking up. Int. Celestial Spire, Final Council. A decision looms. Sanctions? Expulsion? War? Delegates argue until the Velthuran ambassador steps forward. Velthuran, we would not be here without them. If Earth is guilty of building doomsday weapons, then so are we all. Hasari softly, the measure is not what they built. It is what they chose not to use. Final vote, no sanction. But monitoring. Tighter AI ethics oversight. Earth keeps its seat. EXT. Earth. Post-trial reflection. Maya, Alina, and Sarwar overlook Geneva from a tower. Fokker, we dodged a bullet. Maya, we just learned how many guns are pointed at us. Sarwar, what now? Maya smiling. Now we show them we're more than fire and fury. We're builders. We're thinkers. We're the species that remembers. In Celestial Spire, Central Chamber, Day. The Grand Assembly convenes in full force. At the center, towering, adorned in regal metals and flowing black robes, Emperor Akher Valthuraz, supreme sovereign of the Drenari Imperium. Akher, amplified voice. We offer stability. We offer order. We do not ask compliance. He turns to Maya Tran. Aker, we require Earth's strategic corridors, your AI innovations, and your full allegiance to the Imperium. As tribute and trust, the chamber holds its breath. Maya Tran rises. Slow. Calm. Maya Tran, you offer chains and call them safety. Beat. Earth declines. Gasps ripple. Aker's eyes narrow. Int. Earth United Defense HQ. Night. The storm is coming. Every continent prepares. In New Africa, railgun satellites charge. In Antarctica, stealth bases awaken long-dormant mech squads. In orbit, the newly christened TNS Defiance floats, a sleek dreadnought built from debris and stolen blueprints. Sarwar, we just told an interstellar emperor to shove it. Ishan, grinning. Feels good, doesn't it? In Imperium War Chamber, Drenari Prime. Aker stands before his war council. Drenari Admiral. Earth is young. Unruly. A demonstration is advised. Aker, they will kneel, or I will crush them into myth. EXT, Planet Valorian, Imperial Crackdown. Drenari forces begin subduing dissenters on independent worlds. One colony, Valorian, resists using old Earth rail guns donated during the Crimson War. The Drenari retaliate. Brutally, Earth watches in horror. Maya Vio, they said we were too young, too loud, too proud, and maybe we are. But we remember the boot, and we remember how it feels on your neck. Int. Earth. Ember Network Underground Global Uprising Planning. Civilian networks activate across over 30 neutral worlds. The Ember Protocol isn't just tech anymore. It's a movement. Symbol, a broken chain inside a sunburst. Humans train colonists. Hackers teach encryption. Ex-Marines teach asymmetrical warfare. On every world, a whisper rises. The Terrans said no. Maybe we can too. Int. Celestial Spire Crisis Council. Aker demands sanctions. Seeks to isolate Earth. Calls them instigators. But the vote stalls. Because now Valorian, Sarkai, Dothra 4, and Uxari stand with Earth. The Elthuran Elder. They do not defy for conquest. They defy for the right to choose their own chains. EXT, Imperial Strike, Earth Orbit. The Drenari test Earth's defenses, launching a surgical strike on a Terran satellite ring. But the attack backfires. Earth's AI fleets, combined with quantum firewalls and human intuition, pull off a near-impossible move. They hijack a Drenari cruiser mid-fight and send it back, weaponized, into its own fleet. Maya Broadcasting. We didn't ask to lead. We asked to be left alone. But if our refusal makes us leaders, then we will lead you to the stars free. Int. Drenari Imperium Private Throne Room. Aker watches a dozen colony uprisings. Not just military. Culture is rebelling. Music. Language. Color. Decentralized art, Terran philosophy, chaotic self-governance. It spreads faster than ships. Drenari General. They're not just fighting. They're infecting the galaxy with rebellion. Aker bitter. They're human. EXT. Valorian City, human aid drop. Human engineers land amidst cheers from multi-species crowds. Instead of soldiers, they bring water filters, AI education bots, defense towers for civilians. Child to Maya, you didn't come to rule us? Maya kneeling, we came to show you how to say no. Int. Galactic Assembly vote, a monumental vote. Proposal, strip the Drenari Imperium of its veto rights. Redistribute power across all worlds. This close. And then, one after another, small systems raise their flags. Because Earth already said no, and now the stars echo it. XT. Earth. Dusk. Humanity doesn't celebrate with fireworks. They light signal fires across mountaintops and orbital rings. Not for victory, for witnessing. For the moment they became more than survivors. More than warriors. The species that wouldn't kneel became the ones who helped others rise. Int. Galactic Underworld ShadowNet, a virtual space, dark, encrypted, sprawling. A neon blue avatar flickers into view. It is Aaron Callis, former Drenari spy, now freelancer and underground data broker. He leans over a digital terminal, typing furiously. Aaron Callis, VO. In the stars, information is the currency. And I've just hacked into the vault of the Drenari Imperium. He presses a key. Firewall code locks. Another key pressed. Data streams explode into his screen, classified Drenari war plans, military movements, covert ops. But one file catches his eye. Operation Cleansing Horizon, Earth Protocol. He pulls the file, but a notification flashes. File opened, detection active. Callus, smirking. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Int. Earth UN Ambassadorial Office. Night. Maya Trans stands in front of a massive galactic map, pinpointing neutral worlds, allies, and factions. Lieutenant Alina Fokker enters, holding an encrypted datapad. Her face grim. Fokker, we've got a problem. Maya, what now? Fokker, it's the Drenari. They've launched Operation Cleansing Horizon, but it's not a military strike. It's targeting our influence and our allies. Maya, cold. Explain. Fokker, they're buying up our allies. Blackmailing. Using trade routes and data to squeeze us out of the assembly. Maya, if they think we'll buckle, they're wrong. Int. Drenari Imperium, secret throne room. Emperor Aker paces in his darkened chamber, his shadow looming large. He's flanked by his inner circle, including General Sharon, Lady Valerian, and Ainin, a half-destroyed AI agent. Aker, I will not let Earth challenge me again. Sharon, calculating. We've already infiltrated their diplomacy channels. They think they control the vote. We'll remind them who owns the stars. Lady Valorian, let's cut them off before they realize what's happening. An AI whispering. Their diplomats are already compromised. Secrets from Earth's government are leaking. But they don't know we have someone on the inside. Aker smirks, dark and malevolent. Aker, let the whispers begin. Int. Earth Underground Ember Network base. In a dark, secure base beneath Earth's surface, Ishan Rafik and Dr. Sarwar monitor encrypted messages from the colonies. One by one, reports from neutral worlds trickle in. Alien factions being swayed, ambassadors disappearing, treaties being rewritten behind closed doors. Ishan, they're pulling strings. Fast. Sarwar, we knew they wouldn't just accept defeat. But these covert operations? This is beyond political play. Ishan gritting teeth. They're not just targeting our governments. They're getting to individuals. Espionage, subversion. It's personal now. Int. Galactic Assembly, secret vote. Int. Drenari Imperial Room, a covert vote is taking place under a thin layer of peace talks. Luxari, Tekdom, and Drenari operatives discuss manipulating the vote, planting rumors about Earth's stability. Everything seems under control. Vielthurin Elder, suspicious. What are they planning? Luxury Ambassador, smiling thinly. We'll know soon enough. But it seems Earth is stirring trouble. Int. Earth UN Ambassadorial Office, early morning. Maya and Fokker stand before a holographic panel filled with the faces of other human ambassadors. The mood is tense. Maya, the Drenari want to divide us. They're starting with our allies. They'll pull us apart one piece at a time. Fokker with a small grin. Then let's remind them we've been divided before. And we survived. Maya, now they'll see that no amount of blackmail, no amount of manipulation will keep Earth from fighting. In Drenari Imperium, Black Ops Room. Back in the Drenari War Room, General Sharon and Lady Valerian review Earth's diplomatic moves. Sharon, they've countered our moves already. They've discovered our leak. They've encrypted their own systems. Lady Valorian, they're smarter than we thought. Now, we need to push harder. Cut them off from the stars. Int. Earth Global Network Interface. Night. Callus, the underground data broker, quietly hacks into Drenari blackmail tapes. Using his connections in the underground data world, he feeds Maya and her team classified files showing which ambassadors, traders, and military officials are truly loyal to Earth and which have been compromised. He pulls up one key dossier. Project Whisperstorm. Earth collapse. Callus to himself. They really thought they could break us with this. Int. Earth final diplomatic meeting. Night. Maya addresses the remaining leaders of Earth's factions, transmitting to neutral worlds in the assembly. Maya, the Drenari have shown us their hand. They want secrets and they want control. But they have no idea what humanity has. Our greatest strength isn't our military. It's our will to protect what we love no matter the cost. She pauses, letting the words sink in. Maya with finality. They want us divided. We'll show them that unity, true unity, is our most dangerous weapon. Int. Galactic Assembly, Final Council, early morning. The final vote has come. Earth stands defiant. Maya VO. The Whisper War wasn't about winning. It was about showing the galaxy that no matter how hard you press, there is one thing you can never take from us, our voice. EXT. Earth, Orbital Defense Station. Night. The moon shines brightly over Earth as a dozen orbital defense platforms track incoming Drenari warships. The calm of space shattered by the buzz of readiness. The battle has begun. Int. Earth United Command Center. Night. Maya Trans stands at the command center, surrounded by officers, strategists, and analysts. Her face is stern, focused. A holographic map of the galaxy hovers in front of her, displaying Drenari fleets moving into strategic positions. Maya, we're not just fighting their fleet, we're fighting their way of thinking. We have to prove that what we believe in, freedom, self-determination, is worth dying for. Fokker, and we'll die fighting for it. Maya pausing. We won't die. We'll win. And then we'll show them that humanity has already won. EXT Galactic Battlefield, Space. The Defiance Dreadnought leads Earth's fleet, a ragtag but determined array of ships from diverse worlds united by a single cause. Drenari warships descend like vultures, massive, imposing, and ruthless. Close up, Drenari Captain Vorden, icy, calculating, orders the first strike. Vorden, fire the hammer, crush them. The hammer is launched, an enormous, deadly super laser intended to break through the Earth fleet's defenses in one shot. But just as the beam reaches its peak, a pulse from Earth's orbital relays interferes, disrupting the attack. Maya VO. The anvil holds even when the hammer strikes. Int. Earth United Command Center. Night. A sudden cheer erupts as the Drenari laser fizzles out. Maya nods, but her expression remains grim. The battle has only just begun. Maya, they won't stop until they break us. Let's make sure they never get the chance. EXT. Drenari Imperium, Flagship Bridge. Night. Ocker stands before his officers, anger bubbling beneath the surface. His eyes glow with burning rage. His empire's might has been challenged, but humanity's refusal to bow has ignited a fury that even his cold demeanor cannot mask. Ocker, humanity, refuses to yield. It's time to bring them to their knees. Activate the full force of the Imperium's might. No more playing games. In Earth, Strategic Command Center. Night. General Sarwar and Ishan monitor the Drenari onslaught on Earth's defenses. The battle is raging in space, but Earth's resources are stretched thin. Ships are being destroyed, but the enemy hasn't yet breached their outer defenses. Sarwar, we need reinforcements. And fast. Ishan, we don't have reinforcements. We have to make do with what we've got. Int. Drenari Warship Bridge. Night. Drenari Admiral Vexner stands before his fleet, preparing to launch the final offensive to break Earth's defenses. His expression is one of cold superiority, his mission clear: Earth must fall. Vexner, prepare the anvil strike. No more waiting. We end this tonight. Vexner's officer, but Admiral, Earth's resistance is stronger than expected. Vexner, scoffing, then it will be their end. EXT, Earth, Orbital Fleet Engagement, Space. Earth's fleet surges forward with new strategies. The Defiance leads the charge, taking evasive maneuvers against the anvil strike. The Earth fleet, though outnumbered, fights with tenacity and strategy. Humanity's ingenuity outmaneuvers the Drenari juggernaut in key engagements. Maya VO. This isn't just about fighting. It's about showing them that what they can't understand, that will be their downfall. Int. Drenari Command Ship. Night. Ocker watches the battle unfold on a holomap. Humanity has defied his expectations once again. He sneers. Ocker, grimly, their resistance is stubborn, but it will crack. We just need to break their spirit. Show them the true weight of what they've started. EXT Galactic Battlefield, Space. A brutal, decisive battle ensues. Explosions fill the void of space as Earth's smaller, agile ships dart in and out of the larger Drenari warships. Humanity fights like they have nothing to lose. Maya, aboard the Defiance, maneuvers the ship with stunning precision. coordinating with the fleet. The human ships use the environment to their advantage, weaving through asteroid fields, using debris as shields, and employing guerrilla tactics. Fokker, we're holding them. Just a little longer and they'll break. In Drenari flagship, command center, night. The Drenari Admiral Vexner watches in disbelief as his forces are repelled. The Anvil strike has failed. Humanity's fleet is still fighting, still standing. Vexner furious. Why haven't we broken them yet? Ocker cold, calculating. Because they are not what we thought they were. They are more. Int. Earth United Command Center, night. Maya watches the battle unfold. Her mind works faster than her eyes can track. The hammer is coming, the Drenari will strike hard, but humanity has learned from their mistakes. Maya to Fokker, prepare for the final counterstrike. It's not just about stopping them, it's about showing the galaxy that we will not fall. EXT, space, the final strike. The Drenari make their last push, launching everything they have at Earth. But Earth's fleet is ready. A massive wave of Terran ships emerges from hidden orbital bases, delivering a crushing blow. Drenari warships begin to falter as Earth's forces use high-speed tactics, swarming the Drenari juggernaut in a flurry of coordinated moves. Maya VO. Sometimes the hammer falls, but if the anvil is strong enough, the hammer shatters. Int. Earth United Command Center, night. The final push succeeds. The Drenari retreat, their forces in disarray. Maya, we did it. But the war isn't over. This was only a battle. We need to show them who we are. Not just in war, but in how we live. Fokker grinning, and we will. Let's make sure they never forget who we are. XT. Space, a desolate planet. A barren world, scarred by war, with smoke rising from broken ruins. This is the rebel stronghold, an outpost on the fringes of galactic law. The remnants of previous civilizations lie in ruin, but now the stars seem a little brighter. The rebellion is alive. Int. Rebel Base Command Room. Maya Tran stands before a large holographic map of the galaxy showing various rebel factions scattered across different worlds. The room buzzes with activity, humans and aliens alike. Maya, we've won a battle, but not a war. The Drenari will be back, but they won't just come as conquerors. They'll come as manipulators, trying to break the galaxy into pieces. Our strength is in unity. We need more allies. General Sarwar, they already know that we're not a single voice in the dark anymore. They're terrified of what happens when Earth rallies the galaxy. Maya nodding. Then we make sure they hear that voice. Loud and clear. XT. Space. Rebel fleet. A massive fleet of diverse ships, human, Luxari, and other alien factions, move silently through space. A powerful symbol of unity amidst the chaos. The rebel flagship, an ancient, worn battleship, leads the charge. Int. Rebel flagship command bridge. Ishan Rafik stands at the helm of the rebel flagship with Dr. Sarwar beside him. The tension is palpable as the fleet prepares to meet with representatives from neutral and alien worlds. This meeting could either turn the tide of the war or spell defeat. Ishan, this could be it, the first true test of our unity. If they see us as leaders, we win. If they see us as threats, we lose everything. Sarwar, we've fought alone before. Now we fight together. EXT, Space, Drenari Imperium flagship. Emperor Ocker watches as intelligence reports flood in, detailing the growing rebellion. His expression is one of cold fury. Ocker, let them rise. It will only make their fall sweeter. He turns to Vexner, his cold, calculating admiral. Ocker, prepare the fleets. It's time to stamp out this insurrection. Int. Galactic Council Chamber, early morning. The Galactic Council Chamber is a place of power. Various alien representatives, now war-weary and divided, gather for the first time since the conflict erupted. The human ambassadors, led by Maya, take their seats at the table. The Luxari ambassador, Kale Vorn, an imposing figure with long white hair, stands to address the council. Kale Vioren, the Drenari cannot be allowed to continue. They have shown their true nature. But we must ask, what does humanity stand for? Are you here for power, for vengeance, or for freedom? Maya, standing calmly, we're here for freedom. For the freedom of every species, every world to live without fear of tyranny. Kalvioren, and what of the cost of this freedom? Can your fledgling rebellion truly stand against the might of the Drenari? Maya, we've already fought them. We've already won. It's not just about standing against them, it's about giving the galaxy the choice. To choose whether to kneel before an empire or rise for a future of their own. EXT Space Drenari Flagship. Admiral Vexner stands at the control station, watching Earth's resistance grow stronger. He knows the stakes are high now. The rebellion is spreading too quickly. Vexner, if Earth thinks it can rally the galaxy, we'll prove them wrong. He turns to Ocker, standing silently beside him. Vexner, let's give them a war they won't survive. Int. Rebel Flagship Conference Room. A meeting is taking place in the depths of the Rebel Flagship. Representatives from humanity, Luxari, Talians, and Sahar are present. Maya stands before them, laying out their plans. Maya, we've got one shot at this. We can't fight the Drenari alone. But together, we have a chance. We will forge a galactic coalition and alliance that stands against tyranny. Luxury Ambassador Kale Vorn gruffly. You ask us to trust in an uncertain future. The Drenari are a shadow across the galaxy. Can your people be trusted to lead this effort? Maya firmly. Humanity's greatest strength isn't its technology, its ships, or even its numbers. It's its will to stand against the impossible. To keep fighting no matter the odds. Talian's representative. Humanity has shown courage. But can your resolve match the Drenari war machine? Maya, we're not fighting just their war. We're fighting for a future that isn't ruled by fear. A future where everyone gets to choose their path. And that's worth fighting for. XT. Galactic Council. Space. The Rebel fleet and allies now stand ready for action. A massive armada of ships, far more than just the humans, begins to gather around Earth's defenses, ready to strike the Drenari when the time is right. The Galactic Coalition has been formed, but its unity is fragile. This first strike will determine whether it survives. In Rebel Flagship Bridge. Maya and her officers monitor the situation from the Rebel Flagship. The countdown to the first unified offensive has begun. Maya, now we prove it. Not just to the Drenari, but to the galaxy. We fight together, or we fall apart. EXT Space Battle Zone. The battle is swift and brutal. The Drenari warships meet the Galactic Coalition head-on. The galaxy watches as humanity's allies fight not just for survival, but for a new era of freedom. Human ships, now battle-hardened, strike with precision, while Luxari and Zahar vessels lend their strength. The galaxy is not united in name alone. In Drenari Imperium Flagship Bridge. Emperor Ocker watches as the Galactic Coalition clashes with his forces. His fists tighten. Ocker, let them fight. Let them bleed. We will break them just as we have broken so many before. XT. Galactic Battlefield Space. Maya stands at the helm of the Defiance, coordinating the battle as her fleet moves with unity and purpose. The Drenari might have numbers, but the humans have something far more dangerous, a cause. Maya to herself, this is only the beginning. XT. Rebel Base Night. The Rebel Base is a blur of activity. Ships are being prepared for another offensive, but the atmosphere is different. There's a tension in the air, a palpable sense that the rebels are not as unified as they once were. The Galactic Coalition may be strong in numbers, but cracks are starting to show. In Rebel Base Command Center. Maya Tran stands before a large holographic map, scrutinizing the locations of recent Drenari movements. Ishan approaches, his face grim. Ishan, we can't keep going like this. The coalition is fraying. There are whispers that some of the Luxari want out. The pressure's building. Maya, then we make sure they see what's at stake. If they pull out now, everything we've worked for is lost. Ishan, they've lost enough already. Their people are dying in this fight. If we can't give them hope, we lose them. Maya sighing. Hope isn't enough to win a war. We need more than that. We need unity. Int. Galactic Council Chamber. Night. The Galactic Council has convened again, but this time there's a sense of distrust in the room. Kale Vorn, the Luxari ambassador, stands in front of the council, his posture rigid. Kale Vioren, humanity is pushing us into a war we didn't start. We've lost too much already. Too many of our people are dead. We need a clear plan or we will have to withdraw. Maya standing firm. We're not asking anyone to fight or battle. We're asking you to fight for something greater. A future where no one has to kneel to the Drenari. You can't just turn your back on that. Kale Vioren coldly. A noble cause doesn't change the fact that we're losing. You're asking us to follow you into the void with no guarantee of survival. Maya, if you withdraw, you'll guarantee your own defeat. The Drenari will crush us all. They won't stop until we're all under their boot. Int. Rebel Base, War Room. General Sarwar is meeting with his officers discussing the newest battle strategies. Despite the growing tensions, they press on, but the cracks are becoming more visible. The weight of command is wearing on Maya, and Fokker notices. Fokker, you've been pushing us hard, Maya. The pressure's starting to show. You're leading us, but even leaders need a break. Maya, if we stop now, we lose everything. I can't afford to slow down, not now. Fokker, I know, but don't forget, you're not just fighting for the rebellion anymore. You're fighting for the galaxy. Int. Drenari Flagship Command Bridge, Night. Emperor Aker watches the reports of the coalition's weakening unity with a calculated expression. The Drenari Empire has suffered some losses, but they're far from defeated. Aker, the rebels are faltering. The time has come to strike. Crush their fragile unity before they get the chance to regroup. Vexner, we can hit them now while they're divided. Their forces are already spread thin. Aker, smiling coldly, will give them a taste of what happens when they defy us. Let's remind them who holds the power. EXT Galactic Battlefield, Space. A huge space battle erupts. The Drenari launch a surprise offensive on the Galactic Coalition's supply lines. Their fleets are ruthless, breaking through the Coalition's outer defenses. Rebel ships are being torn apart as the Drenari advance. In Rebel Flagship Bridge, Maya watches in horror as the Drenari begin their assault. The Rebel fleet is scattered, vulnerable. Maya, we have to pull them back. Get the fleet out of there. Now, Ishan shouting orders. Reposition the fighters. Defend the supply ships at all costs. But it's too late. One of the Coalition's flagship vessels is struck, sending a shockwave through the fleet. Ships are caught in a deadly chain reaction of explosions. Int. Drenari Flagship Bridge. Aker watches with satisfaction as the rebel forces are decimated. Aker calmly, the galaxy will fall. All we need to do is wait for their unity to break completely. Int. Rebel Base Command Center. Maya and her officers scramble to maintain control. The coalition is in disarray. Tensions rise to a boiling point. Maya, we can't let this be the end. We can't give in to fear. General Sarwar, Maya, the coalition's falling apart. You need to choose, hold the rebellion together or risk losing everything. Maya, pausing, conflicted. I know, but if I choose to hold them together, I'll lose a part of myself. I'll lose the very thing that makes us human. EXT Galactic Battlefield, Space. In the midst of chaos, a Luxari ship turns its engines towards the battlefield. Kale Vorn, against his earlier decision, returns to the fray. The Luxari fleet has returned. Kale Vioren, you may doubt us, but we will fight for what's right. A powerful moment of unity follows, with Talions and Zahar ships' reinforcements pouring in. The tide of battle begins to turn as the Galactic Coalition regroups. Int. Rebel Flagship Command Bridge. Maya stands before the map once again, her face a mask of determination. The Galactic Coalition is holding, but it's a fragile, temporary victory. The Drenari aren't finished, they're only beginning. Maya, we've won this round. But the cost of victory. We must remember that every battle leaves its scars. EXT Rebel Base, Dawn. The Rebel Base is eerily quiet in the early morning light. A thin fog rolls across the battlefield remnants. Blackened wrecks of ships and the quiet hum of recovery efforts fill the air. Soldiers and civilians move like shadows, their faces grim, some battered, some defeated. The aftermath of battle is never clean. In Rebel Base, Medical Wing. Maya Tran walks through the makeshift medical facilities, her boots echoing on the cold metal floors. The smell of antiseptic and blood hangs heavy in the air. She passes wounded soldiers, civilians, and allied soldiers, their bodies broken but their spirits still clinging to hope. Ishan waits for her at the end of the hall, his expression unreadable. Ishan, you should rest. You've been on your feet for days. Maya, shaking her head. Rest? After all this? No. Not until we're sure we've got a future to fight for. Ishan, you're bleeding too. Don't pretend you're immune to the pain. Maya pauses. I don't have the luxury of pain. Not when so many are counting on me. Int. Rebel Base Command Center. General Sarwar and Fokker stand by a large war map analyzing the fallout from the recent battle. The Luxari forces are pulling back, Zahar is reluctant to commit further forces, and morale is at an all-time low. General Sarwar, we've taken more than we've given, Maya. We're bleeding resources. If we don't push soon, we lose the coalition entirely. Maya stoically, I know. We'll find a way to push forward. Fokker, you can't just push. You're asking them to die for a cause that doesn't feel real anymore. We need a plan, a decisive blow. Maya tensing up. We don't have the luxury of time, Fokker. The Drenari are waiting for us to break. We can't give them that. Int. Drenari flagship command bridge. Emperor Aker stands before the large viewport of his flagship, watching the galaxy unfold before him. He turns to Vexner, his loyal admiral, his expression colder than ever. Aker, coldly, the humans are weakened. Their rebellion is fragile. We will break them, but not in battle. We will break their spirit. We'll make them question the very reason they fight. Vexner, how do you propose we do that, my emperor? Aker, smiling darkly, by showing them the true cost of rebellion. EXT? Rebel Base, Night. A Drenari transmission is received on the Rebel Base's comms network. Maya, Ishan, and the senior officers gather in the command center to listen. The screen flickers and displays a Drenari fleet commander. Drenari commander, this is your final warning. If you do not surrender immediately, we will target civilian centers across your homeworld. Your people will pay the price for your defiance. The transmission ends with a sharp crackle, leaving a heavy silence in the room. Int. Rebel Base Command Center. Maya stands at the war table, processing the Drenari's threat. Her mind races, but the weight of responsibility presses down hard. Maya quietly, they're going after Earth. They'll target our families. Ishan, we have no choice but to retaliate. We have to hit them hard, show them we won't be intimidated. Maya, visibly strained. I can't ask them to fight for a world that might be lost. I can't ask them to risk everything again. Int. Rebel Flagship Bridge. The Rebel flagship moves silently through space. Ishan, now standing next to Maya, watches as the ships gather for a new offensive. Ishan quietly, we can't keep fighting like this. We're losing too many, both our soldiers and our allies. Maya grimly, I know. But every soldier who falls is a soldier for freedom. I won't let that sacrifice be in vain. EXT Galactic Battlefield, Space. The Rebel fleet engages the Drenari Empire in a desperate, full-scale battle. The vast emptiness of space is lit by explosions as ships on both sides are shattered and consumed. The rebels fight valiantly, but they are clearly outmatched. The Drenari warships launch devastating strikes against the rebel fleet. Maya overcomes. Push forward. We have to break their defenses. But as the battle wages on, it's clear the tide is turning against the Galactic Coalition. Luxari, Talions, and Zahar ships are taking heavy damage. The once unified front is now fractured. Fear and uncertainty spread like wildfire. Int. Rebel Flagship Command Bridge. The Rebel flagship is battered but still operational. Maya, her face etched with exhaustion, looks at the chaos unfolding on the monitors. The numbers are stacked against them. Maya quietly to herself. How many more must fall? How many more will sacrifice their lives for a future that might never come? XT. Rebel Base, Night. Back on Earth, a luxury cruise ship, once a beacon of human pride, hovers in orbit around the planet, ready for a final evacuation. Civilians, children, families, and the elderly are being loaded onto the ship, preparing to leave the planet. Maya watches, her heart heavy as she sees the faces of those who will leave. But she knows this is what it means to lead. Sometimes it's not about fighting the war, but protecting the future. A future they might never see. Maya to herself, this is the price. We're fighting for them. Even if we never see the world we hope to protect. In Rebel Flagship Command Bridge. The Rebel fleet is scattered. The situation is dire and the Drenari are closing in. But suddenly an Allied transmission comes through from an unknown source. Maya looks at the screen in surprise. Allied voice, Maya Tran, this is the Krellian fleet. We're here to reinforce the fight. We stand with you. The galaxy is with you. Maya's face lights up with a mixture of hope and disbelief. The Krellian fleet, long considered neutral, has finally chosen a side. Maya, thank you. This changes everything. EXT Galactic Battlefield, Space. With the Krellian fleet joining the battle, the Galactic Coalition begins to hold its ground. The Drenari Empire falters for the first time in months. But the cost is great. The Rebel fleet has lost hundreds of ships, and many of their allies are on the brink of collapse. Rebel Flagship Command Bridge. Maya watches the Krellian reinforcements as they engage the Drenari warships. The Galactic Coalition might have found a way to survive, but at what cost? Her eyes linger on the many empty seats in the command room. Maya whispering, we've won this battle. But at what price? How many more will fall before we're truly free? XT Galactic Battlefield, Space, Dawn. The remnants of the Rebel fleet drift in the void, scarred and battered. The once strong battle formations have broken apart, their ships hanging in the cold silence of space like fallen titans. The Drenari Empire, though severely weakened, still looms as a terrifying presence. In the distance, the Drenari flagship is burning, its once imposing silhouette now flickering and crumbling as the final stages of the battle come to a close. Rebel Flagship Command Bridge. Maya Tran stands at the bridge, staring at the fading glow of the Drenari flagship on the monitors. The battle is over. But it's not the victory she envisioned. Maya quietly, we won. But at what cost? Ishan approaching her. The galaxy is ours. Maya. The Drenari are finished. But the price, the cost is something we'll never truly recover from. Maya, her voice heavy with emotion. We sacrificed everything. Everyone. The war isn't over for us, not yet. Not for the ones we lost. Ishan sighs. We fought for a future, but it feels like we're buried beneath the rubble of it. EXT, Rebel Base, Night. Back on the surface of Earth, the aftermath of war is a grim sight. The once thriving city is now a wasteland of wreckage and memories. Rebel soldiers begin to sort through the remains of their fallen comrades, some grieving, others numb to the horrors they've witnessed. Maya steps out onto the ruined streets, her eyes scanning the broken landscape. Behind her, the luxury evacuation ships that had once promised salvation now sit empty, abandoned by those who left and those who had nothing left to return to. Rebel Base Command Center. General Sarwar and Fokker stand together, overseeing the final reports. The Coalition's surviving ships are docked, their crews exhausted but resolute. General Sarwar sighs deeply. The galaxy is scarred, Maya. We've done what we could, but can we truly call this victory? After everything we've lost? Maya, we didn't do this for a victory. We did this to ensure our children, our grandchildren, would have a future. To give them something better than what we were handed. Fokker, shaking his head. But look at what we become. I'm not sure what's left of us after this. Maya, we're alive. And that's more than the Drenari ever expected. We're free. That is the legacy we leave behind. EXT, Rebel Base, Memorial Site, Night. A memorial service is held in the center of the ruins. Tattered flags and fallen banners line the area. Rebel fighters, survivors, and the families of those who perished stand silently. The names of the fallen are read aloud, each one a reminder of the tremendous cost of the rebellion. Maya stands before the memorial, alone in her thoughts, her face haunted by the weight of her decisions. The names of her friends, comrades, and those she led into battle are etched into the stones, their faces flickering in her mind. Maya whispering to herself, "You gave everything. You gave everything for a galaxy that might not remember your name, but I will remember. All of you." In Rebel Flagship Command Bridge. The Rebel flagship is anchored in deep space. The final victory is clear. There is no more Drenari fleet to fight. But it feels hollow. Maya, standing at the helm, surveys the empty expanse before her. There is no enemy left to face. No battle to fight. Ishan overcomes. Maya, we're finished. The battle is done. The Drenari are gone. The galaxy is ours. It's over. But Maya does not respond. Her hand lingers over the controls, the weight of the decision still on her mind. The weight of command, the weight of the war she led them through. Maya softly to herself, it's over. But is this what freedom really looks like? EXT, Earth Day. The world that Maya fought so hard to protect is silent. The people who once lived carefree lives are now rebuilding in the ashes of war. The human cost is visible everywhere, wounded, displaced, mourning. But the human spirit, like always, endures. Maya, standing on a hilltop overlooking the ruins of the world she saved, sees the first signs of life returning. A child's laughter echoes through the streets, a spark of hope in a world that has known nothing but war. Maya to herself, we did it. We gave them a future, a chance to rebuild. Even if it takes generations, we've given them a choice. And that's all we can ask for. In Rebel Flagship Command Bridge. Maya looks up at the empty command room, her leadership, her resolve, her fight. Everything she has done has led to this moment. She turns to face Ishan, General Sarwar, and Fokker, the only family she has left. Maya quietly resolute. The fight is over. The war is done. Now it's time for us to rebuild. The crew nods, but no one speaks. The silence speaks volumes. Their journey together has come to an end. The galaxy has been saved, but it will never be the same. In the end, it was never about the battles won or the empires destroyed. It was about the choices we made, the sacrifices we endured, and the future we left behind. They called us primitive. They called us weak. But in the end, we proved them wrong. We are the architects of our own destiny.